the plane was late because of storms in Atlanta, and we finally got aboard, but we did make it to Atlanta by 4:30. Right? And we were waiting until 5:45 to get to Athens. And instead of getting in at, we're getting in at 11:37 instead of 10:37.
Yep.
Time to say farewell. We're taking off very soon. And then they'll feed us.
Finally, yeah.
We're going to have dinner. And it is now 6:15, and we were supposed to leave at 4:30. Isn't that wonderful?
One of these days.
Hi, Joseph. Look at the train.
Better to see your face.
What's on our left? What is that?
That the top is the Parthenon. The biggest one at the top.
Beginning day. Barbecue on the grill, a small beef burger, chicken chest. Hello, Joseph. I'm tired of saying hello to you. Well, that gives you a little bit of everything for 20.
Black, no, this one is
Not like this one?
yes, that's the same.
More money?
No, the price is the same. This is the price, same.
got the one side of the ship. We're on the ship. We made it.
We made it this
We're on
far.
our merry way. Thank you, Delta. Delta didn't do so good.
No. Delta did all they could to keep us from getting here.
Right. And Joseph was going to fly us to Paris or Rome or
New York.
someplace else. So that day
New York or Rome or
and
Paris.
Our luggage would be in Atlanta all that time.
Yeah.
Day
Well,
and
that's
a
why we didn't do it. Otherwise we would.
Hello.
Hello. What's the
We're
code again?
unpacking.
What's the secret code?
2020.
Hello, Maxine. Where are you?
We just had a lovely lunch.
Did you really? What did you have?
I don't remember what I had. I don't remember where I am.
And Joseph, what did you have to eat?
I had the traditional Lavaranda welcome aboard
Oh,
lunch.
good. Was it delicious?
The cheesecake.
Oh, he had
Oh, yummy.
Always get a new
Got my
thing with
third
the cheesecake.
stomach is starting.
What are you having for dinner?
I'm having veal tonado, parsnip soup, and,
Vitello Tonato.
yeah, and parsnip soup and pasta with pesto.
Right.
And then to my entree, I'm having
Scallopini.
scallopini,
Pork.
scallopini. Oh, in between, I'm having lemon sorbet.
Excellent.
Excellent, thank you. My pleasure.
My choice, I'm having Vitello Tonato, which is roast veal loin with tuna cream sauce.
Very good. Selected.
Minestrone Genovese. Skipping the salad. And then having spaghetti alla Neapolitana. And the sorbet.
Sorbet.
And then the pork scallopini.
Of them. John was here. John traveled in Asia Minor, and they say that Mary traveled with him. And when they ended in Ephesus after traveling in Asia, Mary was not in good condition. If you think about the traveling conditions on horseback, camelback, sailing, not buses in those days, of course, Mary was not in.
Wonderful day in Turkey.
Isn't it?
Yes, I'm going to talk to you, but quickly. But I'll still talk to you. Please stick together and try to follow. We found also caduceus and a snake, and there was the other side on the sign. There was the caduceus, pestle, and mortar, which was a symbol of pharmacy. Actually, those signs gave us the hint. We estimated that there's something medical nearby, but after the excavation, they were sure that this has been used as a medical symbol. Right across, can you see that? There's a monument also.
Here's the coffin.
The statue of this Roman Emperor Trajan. You can see a left foot and a global figure next to it on here. The left foot, there was a horse.
And Rodeo Drive of Ephesus. There was a shopping arcade. You see the shops side by side. These were the brand name there. had been engaged, where they were started. They honored him with this little temple, but it was one of the most beautiful marble structures in the city. Of course, we didn't find this in this condition. Again, this was all over, and we found the original pieces and it's put together. So you see the arch and everything, it has been restored. And feel how comfortable they are. Yes, they are comfortable. You can sit very finely just up on the third mark. And mosaic floor, under this there was a mosaic, marble seats, there was everything. It was all,
What a nice kid. Oh, the poor boy.
yes, it's all mixed because it's the 2nd century. The part of clubs came, but it was very important. The first official visit, it was by Pope Paul VI. He was the first one who came here. And the other beautiful thing here, this gorgeous castle up on the hill. The castle is the same date with the church. Remember the date of the church, 600? It is 600 as well. But the church is not in good condition, but the castle is almost in perfect condition.
No, I'm good. This one is working.
Is it pulling out or anything?
No.
Shopping. We have 10 minutes to go down there. I thought I could find a clammy place. So is it like that one over in the Silver Sea? Or
That is Silver Sea.
Silver Wind?
Yeah, but that's Silver Sea Cruises. That's one of their
the kind
ships.
they go on?
Yes.
I thought they were much smaller.
They are. Look how much smaller it is. Surprise.
This is the captain's welcome party. And we're being served hors d'oeuvres and champagne.
Where's the champagne?
It's not here yet. It's in the Constellation Theater.
Yeah.
It's just lovely.
Okay.
Hey, Maxine, what are you doing?
We just met the captain and he was so glad we came.
Yeah.
We're going to hear
Made us
that.
evening.
Gentlemen, please show your appreciation for Captain Gianmario Sanguinetti.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome on board. I hope you enjoyed your day in Kushadasi, a bit wet. I promise for tomorrow that it's going to be sunny in Monemvasia. In case of rain, don't forget that the German office is on deck 5. All the complaints is more than welcome to accommodate. On behalf of Regent 7 Seas Cruises, officer and crew vessel, I would like to welcome you on board. And I would like to say a few words. It's not easy to run the vessel alone. You know, I'm not a magician. So we do have 440 crew members that I would like to introduce. Yeah, okay. The stage is too small. We are running out of time. Therefore, I'm going to call here on stage the senior officer, the head of departments that are going to represent. Here we are, and we will start with the gentleman in charge for the weather, our general manager, Michael.
Thank you, Captain. Good evening, everyone. As the captain said, I'm the general manager. It's a pleasure to have you on board with us. I sincerely trust that you'll enjoy our service and hospitality, and please let us know if there's anything you wish for that can enhance your time with us. Please enjoy your holiday. I'm originally from Canada and I live in New York. Enjoy your day.
Hello, good evening everybody. My name is Leandro. I'm from Buenos Aires, Argentina. I'm the executive concierge on board, and on behalf of the reception team, I'd like to welcome you on board. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Moos Willy. I'm from Belgium. I do live in South Africa. I'm in charge of all the food on board, so if I can do anything for you, please address me.
I have the privilege and pleasure of being the cruise director on board, in charge of the entertainment and enrichment program. I hail from the beautiful city of Cape Town in South Africa, and thank you. And along with my colleagues, we are here to hope that your cruise exceeds all of your expectations. Welcome on board.
Very well, since we are all here, perhaps some of you may wonder who's on the bridge right now. If I'm not wrong, if it's not the 8 o'clock, it's the baker, right?
Guys, be careful there. There's some shallow.
First of all, after we sit here for a while, we'll continue to where the country streets are. That's where the church is. So, for those that don't want to do any more walking, and with the Christian religion taking over, you have the development of a very religious society. You deal with
Get the camera. No, I didn't Okay. Here, come down. Huh?
Shorter.
No, it isn't. This way is better.
All right, you do that way, I'll do this way.
very early days, what they did was that they simply converted the ancient temples into churches. That's the easiest way, instead of building your own to begin with. And second, because you sort of impose the new religion over the old one. One of taking business inside North France. Remember that originally the entrance to the church was this is called now the Hampton.
from electric press. The style of painting.
Ναι, εκεί θα μπούμε μέσα στο παραβάν μαζί.
Also see your ship in the distance, and we just need a couple of minutes more to reach the port. I'd like to thank our driver for bringing us safely back, and God bless you, a nice continuation of your cruise, and for being here.
No. What are you going to have?
I'm going to have lamb chops. I haven't had lamb in a long time, and I've had them before, and they are delicious. And then we have to pick our own salad.
You can get salad from the buffet.
And then we pick our own dessert.
From the buffet, right?
From the buffet.
You going to have soup?
I didn't see any soup.
There's 2 soups,
How can I miss that?
but they're at the buffet too, I believe.
Yeah, they
I
are.
think you get your own.
We go up to get the antibiotic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where does it say? Soup?
Zuppa.
Oh, that's zuppa. Gypsy soup with pumpkin and beans. Tuscany bean soup. Interesting. Very interesting.
What are you going to have, Maxine?
I am going to have the antipasto and the Tuscany bean soup and gnocchi, and I'm going to have the lamb chops.
Excellent.
Eat your heart out.
Excellent. Right.
Buttery bread. So today we're aboard the ship, and we're not docked or anchored. We're staying on board.
There's your tea.
All the activities. It's the ice cream social. Not too many people up here eating ice cream.
No. It's only 68 degrees. It could be a little more than that though, because the sun is out.
So where are we going tomorrow again?
Tunis.
Tunis. And what are we doing there?
We go to Tunis to go to the Medina, which is the old quarter of the city, where you'll be able to do some shopping. You'll be able to do some bargaining with the traditional merchants.
What kind of money do you use there? The euros?
I don't know. Euros. Well, they have their own Tunisian dinar. I guess dinars.
Oh
probably.
boy.
But I don't know if you use euros or dollars. You can probably use either one.
Alright, I got a team there that's definitely a contender, the Dickens team. Are you from Arizona? Dickens. Alright, so remember we're looking for
18 buses. I just declared war.
Since 1956, we are independent from the French. And since 1957, we are an independent republic. A small country with 10 million people, 10.3 million people living in this whole country. 20% of this entire population lives in Tunis, which is the capital and which is the most populated city of way of life here in Tunisia. Now we are right in the city center of Tunis. It's Habib Bourguiba Boulevard, and we are right in the heart, as I said, of the French Quarter or of modern Tunis. So you have the Medina of Tunis right in the center, and right outside or surrounding the Medina of Tunis, you find the French Quarter of Tunis.
Must be laundry day, carpet day.
Leather, etc., etc. For ceramics, I highly recommend that you postpone that till Sidi Bou Said, because Sidi Bou Said is a Moorish village known for.
Okay, get closer, please. We are now in Tunisia. We're following our leader, and we're going to do some shopping.
Pillars and columns to build the Medina. That's why you find a Roman influence. Also, the Turkish influence. The Moorish influence is very visible, all right? Especially in this street, in the parallel street, because this area was built by the Spanish. But as long as this party presents
Tunisia.
What did you get?
I got a stuffed camel. I got a refrigerator magnet. And I got another stupid little camel.
The refrigerator magnet was free, right?
Yeah, he threw in the magnet.
Yeah.
But it may be on a camel there on this tour. I bet you will be on a camel. I'm just hoping those camels. You can get a camel somewhere else. Where do you get? You have to go to the south or the north or something. But not here.
We remember him, as I said, as the founder, as the father of modern Tunisia, the liberator of women, and he's like very much respected in here. Theory by this. If you look here, the style, the roses, the leaves, etc., are Greek.
Might have a nice experience. Oh, he says it's freezing there. Absolutely freezing. Well, nice flight. Yeah. And then he's going to fly home after 3 days.
We're having lunch in Tunisia, and then we go on to sightsee some more.
All that is all these elements are architectural elements and representing the Moorish or the Andalusian influence.
reaches a marriageable age. This is how we call it. Maturity, but a marriageable age. She doesn't have to leave the house of her parents until she gets married. Unless there is, there you go.
But I hope that this would serve as a good introduction to the country. Just come back. Well, the country is small and beautiful, and you can have a tour of 10 days or a week. You can explore the different parts of the country.
Good evening. We are now at Prime 7, and we are going to have a beautiful surf and turf dinner, and I'm having prime rib. The place is beautiful, and the atmosphere is wonderful. We're having a good time.
What did you have for dinner?
I had surf and turf. It was wonderful. I didn't finish it. And I had New England clam chowder.
Yeah.
And what did I have? Jumbo shrimp.
Wow.
Cocktail.
That's a lot of food.
And twice baked potato.
Look at this beautiful presentation.
What is it?
Apple plum cake with vanilla ice cream.
Oh.
I think there's a cake underneath.
It's a lot of work there.
Isn't that cute? Looks wonderful.
Hello. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Is it a good morning? Ah, that's better. If you look on our right-hand side, this is Fort St. Elmo. It wasn't what we see today. Obviously, this was finished by the British, but look further in there, if you don't mind. Here in front of you. Here they filmed Midnight Express some 35 years ago. You remember Midnight Express, the film? They filmed it here. It's still a film studio, as I told you. And over there, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call progress. How exciting, isn't it? Those high-rise buildings that we have no room for such high-rise buildings in Malta because we don't have the wide roads you have. So when we're walking there, you think they're going to fall. You're seeing we still have quarries of stone. We still have Globigerina limestone. Most of the buildings you're seeing is all Globigerina limestone. In addition to this natural resource, which is the only natural resource we have, we also have languages. Yes, because since we depend on tourism, the most languages you speak, the more openings. And in fact, my daughter is the only daughter with 3 boys. She's the one who has the 7 languages, capital city. So I'll let you get off for the photos.
You can get off and take a photo. I don't feel like doing it.
It all works out, so this is why I'm proud to say that a good 70% are house owners. These are all council apartments, council houses, right? These would pay a reasonable fee of about €400 a year, which is ridiculous. We have many homes for the elderly, some private, some state. So they have a choice where to go. Which was numbering 300 people. Today here we have 20,000 people. Today it's no longer out in the country, it's a town. In 1873. Okay? So, this building, can you imagine how it is built without scaffolding? They stopped it. Yes, foreign people. Used to come 15 people, and so half of them were there. That was a block audience. That is one behind the other. So we leave a space for the others to come out so we can.
Remembrance.
Just to get them something.
What do you think? Here we are.
Shopping for jewelry.
In Malta.
But you didn't buy anything yet.
No.
And you're running out of time.
We have 5 minutes to make a decision.
Less than that.
Yes, please. The name is Doris. Don't forget. And if you don't remember the name, just say bus number 5. And be the worst illness. So promise yourself that you're gonna start a phone once a month, once a week, or
We just finished seeing Republic Street in Valletta, and now we have to figure out which bus to take to get back to the ship. And that's probably 198.
Right, it is 198. I remember.
Now we just have to find it out of
50
about 100
buses.
different buses.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh well, we'll do it.
Look out.
We're having caviar and champagne again. It's just hard work.
One day after the next.
Yes.
Caviar, more
Somebody has to
caviar and
do it.
champagne.
And we're at the captain's cocktail party.
No, this is Seven Cities.
Oh, I'm sorry, it isn't. Multiple travelers.
So many parties you can't keep them straight.
I know, it's just every night. Nothing but fun.
But hopefully you had a wonderful day today, and what a lovely day it was. Gorgeous weather, and what a lovely port. Beautiful area that we were. And what a nice way to finish it off with a cocktail party honoring all of you, our very dear and loyal guests. So thank you for coming back to Regent Seven Seas Cruises. So whether you are new to the Regent family, or whether you have that free laundry or even more, we hope that you've enjoyed sailing with us as much as we've enjoyed having you on board. Cheers.
Cheers.
So with that, I do thank you so much for coming this evening. Hope you have a wonderful evening. But we are not done yet.
Mighty breaking heart, and I know I would do this man.
And that is
This is
scallops.
mashed potatoes.
And Maxine has
This is crab meat with asparagus.
with asparagus. I see the asparagus, but I don't see the crab
I
meat.
don't either. It must be in there somewhere.
What's the red stuff on top? Lettuce?
Tomato. Oh, this. I don't know, radicchio.
The most western town of Sicily, boasts 17,000 inhabitants, and look, many fisher boats in the end of this street. You can see they find the fishermen repairing their nets in the traditional way. So when in springtime, when it doesn't rain anymore, they fill these basins with water, and with the evaporation the water by the sun, natural evaporation, the salt is produced, no? And you see these windmills of thefts and so on. All right. So.
Wine had become famous, no, since the second half of the 18th century, since John Woodhouse came to Sicily. Actually, all this birds sing still here in the south, no, in the north. The birds will sing again in springtime. Here they sing all over.
House of Mosaics.
And for what concerns this house, that is a very special. The crescent moon, like here, and a star in the middle, which became afterwards the symbol for Islam. Islam, which originated.
Anyway, because it's impossible to enter the town of Marsala by bus. The historical center, because of the smaller streets, it's all pedestrian area. And here's now our winery, one of the most ancient ones, the winery Pellegrino, where we will taste some wine.
Oh, wow. Wow. Original. Because I don't know if you think Marsala is always a sweet dessert. It's not actually. Marsala can be sweet, yes. But it was invented dry. Marsala
It's a little bit like you got your biscotti and your second wine.
That went fourth biscotti. Like anisette.
Anisette.
Year of aging. We'll have 17% of alcohol. You will find it as Marsala Fine in the shop. But the same wine left for 2 years will be Marsala Superior. And in the casks, you see everywhere, it's written Marsala Superior. Please, here we speak about Sicilian cup. Please, join this cup. Very, very important when the cups are
Which is also a very, very ancient place. There's a well inside. Right, if we went along the coast, now the south coast, no? Which we will not do because we go back. We wish you a nice stay here in Trapani, and further nice traveling with your beautiful ship, the Seven Voyager. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you for keeping the weather nice. Oh, that's right, yes. No umbrellas, no rain.
Hi, we're just started out. It's 3 o'clock and we're trying to find some shops open, but they're having siesta.
We're in Trapani,
right,
Italy, and we just came out to shop, and we're told that the shops are closed for siesta.
Well, we'll have to look harder, that's all.
Yes, so we're going to look.
Shop harder. Smarter, not harder, maybe.
We should get him a hot dog.
He didn't speak English.
junk on it? No, I guess it might be a restaurant.
How pretty is that?
So beautiful. And I haven't bought a thing, imagine. I'm nice balcony.
First animated feature shown at the Cannes Film Festival since Peter Pan. Question number 3. You want the other one back, don't you? Feature Al Pacino and Robert De Niro in the same scene. Question number 12.
Godfather? Maybe that was the Godfather?
I can't remember the name of it. I saw it too, I saw one.
Number 14. Which river is home to the only Chinese alligators in the wild? The Yangtze. The Yangtze River.
Don't answer.
And then I had my main course is scallopini, veal scallopini. This has got a bunch of lettuce and tomato, prosciutto.
Not too much,
asparagus.
not too little.
No, it's just perfect. I have some large shrimp from my grandfather's rig.
All right, then between the two mountains to our right, you can actually see the crater of Mount Vesuvius. Mount Vesuvius is still active. Last eruption 1944. Sorry about this beautiful day. Mamma mia, it's not really very nice because you see, this time of the year it's a bet. You can have beautiful days like this, and then you can have ugly days like this aside, so they are protected by UNESCO. And the one of the genuinity, let's say, of the village. It's shown 20 volcanoes, so the shape there has been changed many times due to the volcanic eruption. But here, of course, I probably didn't mention, sorry, soul limestone. It's very fragile. We have quite often in winter time landslide, and I don't know if you know about the last one that just happened about a month ago. So here and there you're going to see always these iron nets to the left, you see? Those are built there by the special corps of the army, the Italian army called the Alpini. So they basically secure the mountain. It's always a very tight iron net in order here for vacation were actually hosted in the houses of the fishermen. Back then, Positano. We're not talking about 2 centuries ago. We're about the hand-painted ceramic tiles are something really common everywhere. Here, even the street mail. So, thank you, Michele. Stop. To your right, down to the right, by the beach. You can actually go to move so you can see. You can see the dome of the Cathedral of Positano. Those are hand-painted ceramic tiles. The 4 most used colors are the white, the yellow, the green, and the light blue for tourism.
Now this place is beautiful, breathtaking. We're in Sorrento and the town of Amalfi.
Coming towards Amalfi.
Amalfi, right? And all the houses built into the mountain, absolutely gorgeous.
You have to say the rosary along the road in order to make it there safely.
Yes, they look Viagra, it says. You can get some Viagra Music composer. And they're the most beautiful gardens of the Amalfi Coast of Norway. And literally overlook the the lady there pitched us in the back. As we say over here, donna al volante pericolo costante. Having a driving woman is a constant danger. I totally disagree with that, but so it mostly was. The location, very well protected. The 2 bays, the one of Napoli and the one of Salerno, are like 2 big arches connected in the middle by the range of mountains. We're driving.
To begin with, we had what?
Cannelloni
Cannelloni with
and the cream
spinach
sauce,
and cream
spinach,
sauce.
right?
Then we had a salad with vinaigrette.
Vinaigrette,
Very
right?
light. And then we had a piece of crusted white fish that was delicious. And then we had rambaba and Demitas coffee. It was very delicious.
Doesn't work.
Todd
talking.
Time to go. It's too late.
Talk.
Had a marvelous lunch.
Talking.
From the cliffs to where we're in.
It'll be ducked in right here.
Beautiful.
No, it'll be right here. You have to look at the bottom of the screen. And that's Salerno over there. City, the big city is Salerno.
That is so beautiful.
Because we've been on the bus for about 40-50 minutes, so to stretch the legs a little bit. Alright, and then we will keep going to the bed place where we have no tire, and there is a triangle.
My friend.
Wow, is that flowers?
Must be.
We just finished a lovely dinner, and we're going to a lovely show.
You're both going?
I suppose so.
I suppose so.
Keeps you away, and it's only, was it an hour? It just seemed to go fast the last time, so I guess I could.
Yeah, that goes fast. That's after we go to the boutique.
Oh, that's right. We have to go see what's on sale.
Were they having?
Crystal beads and stuff.
Did they advertise a sale?
Yeah, well, it's just featuring Murano glass jewelry.
Glass jewelry show.
So we'll see what it is. Go check it out.
There, you see, this is the port, this is the harbor, and this is because Civitavecchia is very small, and so we have compulsory to go all the way around. Imagine the whole season when we have plenty of ships in how many countries. And they have been working for about 5 years, and they are still at the beginning because they have to dig many meters deeper in order not to destroy them. And look at the very beautiful facade. Right now it's the sun against us, but if you cover a little bit, you can see. Ci possiamo fermare un attimo, Mario? So you see in the center we have Jesus Christ sitting on his throne. Then we have Saint Peter and Saint Paul on both sides. Down below there was called Frigidarium, the one with very cold water, so that these are part of the 8 pillars that were building the Caldarium. 8 pillars, imagine. And in that place in 1990 we had a very famous concert that maybe you remember, the one with the 3 tenors. Do you remember? The Colosseum. is built with 3 different rings, you see, one within the others. And inside they had staircases that were the seat for the spectators. So getting around, you'll say right now that this will be the best preserved part of the Colosseum, made up with the decoration with semicolons, starting from the 1st to the 3rd level. We have capitals in Ionic, Doric and Corinthian style, and on top no semicolons but only lesenas, which are flat columns. And on top of the arches on the first floor, you can read maybe that we have Roman letters. These Roman letters were the numbers, you know, so we had 80 arches, but only 76 of them are numbered, because was important since the 4th century BC until the 5th century AD. And imagine that this enormous valley was a marshland. Then the water was a very democratic emperor, and he didn't want to destroy what was on the other side. So behind this wall there was the so-called subura, that was the suburban, you know, you have the same word in English. And so in order to separate the 2 districts, he built this enormous wall. And all the other buildings on our right, these are made up with the semicircular shape, you see. These were the first commercial center in the world. 150 shops. These are belonging to Trajan's market. And on the on our left hand, 3 columns belonging to Venus temple, inside in Caesar Forum, because according to of the Roman Empire, so 2nd century AD, 33 meters height, representing a width 2,500 figures, all the wars that Emperor Trajan won against the Dacians, who were the inhabitants of our actual Romania. Denis Square, so called after the brownish building we have just in front of us, you see. This was the first Renaissance palace built in Rome, and by Leon Battista Alberti. Have the 2 winged victories, which are called very long avenue in there between the 2 palaces in there. This is Via del Corso, all right? So Via del Corso connects here, Piazza Venezia, on the opposite side with Piazza del Popolo, where we are trying to go. Now this palace, only last year they found other ruins belonging to Trajan's time, no doubt, because just behind this palace we have the ruins. They built such beautiful buildings which were before the summer residence of the popes, before they moved to the Vatican City. And so we have here today, look at that, you see, we have a Carabinieri, Esercito, and so on. The band is also playing. And this is, look at the Dome of St. Peter, you see, the very big one. We are going later in there. A modern fountain, of course, and this is called also the fountain of the Naiades, or the mermaids. You see, a very big scandal when this fountain was inaugurated, because as you can see, these ladies are completely naked in a very sexual position, yes, and these were exactly placed in the city of the popes, right? Yes, plenty of complaints about them, and these enormous, and Michelangelo transformed it into a church, into a basilica. But this enormous place, the whole district was only one. Yes, but if you choose one of the, for instance, walking tours, like, you know what it is, the Roman Forum in August. Oh my gosh, it's terrible. Most expensive hotel in the city, the Excelsior Hotel. And this is the nice Via Veneto. So famous because of an Italian movie. Do you remember La Dolce Vita, The Sweet Life? Yes.
So here we are in Piazza del Popolo, People Square. This is the People Guides we came through, and on the Aurelian City Wall, so we entered from the opposite side. And then, you'll see the way, is exactly on the opposite side of the avenue between the two churches. That one is here.
Yeah.
And Daddy asked for that what time?
Well, I think from 1 to 3:30. Yeah.
You want one to throw in here?
I got it.
Throw it over here.
Right hand over the left shoulder has to be, otherwise it doesn't work.
Like that?
Right hand over the left shoulder.
Huh? The other one?
Yeah.
See you. It's recording.
This is for number 6.
Hey.
You go in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grazie. Thank you. Great too.
Piazza del Popolo, and we're going to meet our tour guide over there. It's about 12:30. We have to be there at 12:45. And then we came up from Via del Corso over there. And we started out going that way via Babuino, the Baboon Street.
Yeah.
And we went to Trevi Fountain, and that's about it. We went to Piazza di Spagna and then the Trevi Fountain and then back.
And you took pictures of all of us. And that's where we have.
Laocoon was a priest during the famous War of Troy. And when, after 10 years of siege, finally the Greek decided to leave the siege and to use a trick, the famous look out and the enemies were disappeared. The reason was this wooden horse. And so they went in the sea just in front of them. Simply cut out briefly and reapplied on the walls as a decoration. Like you can see here, you see among the bricks here, the upper deck, they were representing these beautiful female figures, each one a normal symbol that helps us to identify them. use of tragedy, the use of comedy, the use of music, the use of astronomy, the use of poetry. The music were so important. This is just a simple base. On this base they had this decoration. Related to the user. So evidently this is coming from the kitchen. The mosaics at the bottom of the swimming pools were representing a robbery. To see what is going here. Each one has a very strong much later. And then when they made the shoes also remained on the floor, it was very modern. So you see, when people pass, you see a arch where because it was a wall, the wall, it also remained in 1931, much later. And then when they made the shoes. Make again a link with the Judaism, because in the Bible you can read that the wolf of the sea and the wolf of the temple. Oh, now we go to the center of the square.
Are you having fun?
Well, I learn something every time I come here.
Yeah, absolutely. You see it over and over again. You still have to see more.
The Catholic Church has a lot of assets.
Yeah, they sure do. It's beautiful.
Say goodbye to the Vatican, yeah? Bye-bye. February is nice, it's not very cold.
Off to Florence and Pisa.
Italy, you know, it's not so hot as in summer, and it's not cold as in winter. So this is the best season to come to Italy: spring and autumn.
You're in the shade under the Tuscan sun.
Yeah, in the shade.
Yeah.
And all these ruins are very old built, because as you can you imagine that the tower is already 1,000 years old.
It's called the Santa Maria del Fiore, Holy Mary of the Flowers. This church is the third largest church in the Christian world after St. Peter in Rome and St. Paul in London, but it's the oldest indeed, because it was started, because St. Peter is from the 1500s, St. Paul is from the 1800s. This is 1296, so it's way older. When this church was built, it was meant to be the largest church of the world, but the largest before this one was the one in Siena. So Arnolfo di Cambio went to Siena and measured the church in Siena, and did the project for this one 6 meters larger and 10 meters longer. Now the people in Siena found out, and what did they say? They said, no, and they enlarged their church. So what do? We enlarge our church. What did they do? They enlarged their church. What do? We enlarge our church. Back and forth for 172 years. That's how long it took us to build the church you're looking at. You have the better it is. This church is completely covered with white, green, and pink marble. The white marble comes from, you know what mosaic is, right? Like colorful stones, one next to the other, they make a picture from far away. So this is green mosaic. Called Porta del Paradiso, Paradise Gate. That's actually a nickname that was given to it by Michelangelo, because when Michelangelo passed from here, was so amazed by those doors, they said, well, that's supposed to be the doors, the gates that you find heaven in paradise. And after that, were rebaptized like that. See, if you look carefully, can you see there is a man that is lying down in the very last corner? Exactly looks like from the architectonic point of view, because Michelangelo copied this one to do the one in Rome 100 years later.
Way from the end.
If you look at the very top, you can see there is a black balcony. Can you see? And there's some brave people up there.
Yes.
And that's how you can walk all the way up. Okay, that's how where you get out. Only clear daylight day today is pretty amazing. Now, looking at the dome, that is a kind of petrol using for it as a heat for the heating the apartments. And the 4th of November is basically the beginning of the winter for us. So all the houses have a full tank of naphtha. So when the flood arrived, destroyed all the houses. Florence became the capital of Italy. And when that happened, they had to change the style of the city. So the most I turned down the city walls, the fortresses, everything else was ugly, useless, and fashion. Unfortunately, they didn't like this area, so they destroyed everything, and then we will parallel to this one at the end, at the arch down there.
Hát a minden voltak éppen ott alig már átírva a
Those things you see, there are lots of statues. There are 85 statues, all parts of the 1800s, by not very important artists, but they're very interesting because they represent all people who were born and they were making here from Florence.
Very lost from the troops.
Well, there's something. The central one is the current flag, the last one on the right is white with a lily, which is a symbol of the city of Florence. If you look around yourself in this square, you see there are lots of statues. All the statues are all originals apart from 4. This is basically an open air museum. That's why there is a police, it's got 24/7 and cameras everywhere. Don't worry, I'm not going to explain every single status. Because basically Bandinelli tried to copy the David but put way too many muscles in the bodies. So it does look like a bag potato from far away, to be honest with you. And then those 3 are 3 like the statue. In fact, they call it the Biancone. Biancone means the big white guy, okay? We use it as a meeting point. We say, let's meet on the big white guy. Right there, you see the David, the famous statue of the David. Medusa was a witcher, she has snakes here, and she was trying to stone anybody who could the hand of somebody and the back of somebody. And this paint is very long and it's been created to impress, surprise, and amuse the spectator. You can hardly see when one figure starts and when the other one ends. Just look at the statue carefully. Next time you'll see you're going to have to pay for it. Had a very innovative idea. They were preaching that the Pope to be poor and that the church to be poor. And so clearly we're not very beloved by the Pope at all. In fact, the Pope never allowed them to have the church inside the city walls. The city walls were right there at the end of the square, okay, where you see all these buildings. It was to be countryside.
How's the pizza?
Oh, it's wonderful. It's really fresh margarita.
Margarita.
Yummy. Wish you were here.
To help with the pizza.
Yeah, because I can't eat it all. But I'll do
How
it.
about you?
Spaghetti bolognese in Florence. Delicious.
Bolognese.
Bolognese, excuse me. Very, very good.
Vedo mio cugino. L'altro giorno c'era
She didn't make things.
Prova, metti la gamba lì. Però se te la tieni ferma. Dai.
Okay, so yeah. Okay, let's see.
You?
Up to bed. It's getting late. Oh gosh, I need a nice sleep. So good to be home and going to bed.
So tomorrow
Tomorrow
We're in Monaco, Monte Carlo.
Tomorrow we go to Monaco and maybe gamble, pretend, maybe.
Tomorrow night.
Isn't that wonderful? Be nice to come to Europe sometime and get worth.
Well, those were the old days.
Yeah. You're gonna watch a movie or something?
No.
10 o'clock in the morning until some of them start at 5. I guess they mentioned different casinos. I didn't know it's in a different building. I thought it was just a different section of the casino, the big one.
We're overcrowded, completely invaded on the Côte d'Azur because in Cannes this is the famous movie festival of Cannes at the same time. So from one point to the other one in the region, everybody's there. This is a great time. Don't have to go back. So now Prince Albert is a prince. He had to be engaged and get a princess. So paradise of shopping. I'll show you, oh, sorry man, if you want to enjoy this shopping area in Cannes, it's very easy. Very easy as well to fire the credit card. You'll have a long street of shopping with about 100 of shops. Boulevard Croisette now in front of you. If you look by the bay, you'll see the whole Bay of Cannes, and at the end the hill with the tower. This is the medieval city center. The island as well on your left hand side. On your right hand side you'll see the biggest palace of Boulevard Croisette, on the ground, more than 300, exactly like in Hollywood. These are the fingerprints of actors and actresses. If you want to walk in this garden during your free time, it's up to you. You decide. The drink, shopping, or the walk, you'll have all you need on your left hand side by the city center of Cannes.
Good morning. Where are we today?
We're in Nice.
Cannes.
We're in Cannes and we're walking. We just went to a flea market with beautiful silver and crystal and open market. Beautiful. And so we're trying to get pictures of some of the beautiful buildings. It's lovely.
Become interesting and famous thanks to Brigitte Bardot, who came here and in Saint-Tropez to do the publicity of this market. But at first, during the first setting,
We didn't have any actors and actresses here, just a few, but not that much. That was not really interesting. And thanks to the Brigitte Bardot and Yves Montand, Simone Signoret, a lot of actors and actresses, French and American, came more and more right here in Cannes. It has created the land kingdom between Provence and County of Nice. So we needed to get a big castle because it was protecting France. There is in the industrial district of Grasse. And I'll prefer to get into the city center because this is the historical factory. All around this is a medieval city center, and you can see the kind of colors I was telling you about, with more ochres such as orange, all kind of narrow streets. It's mostly a walking city center, of course, pedestrian.
Okay, so hello everybody. Welcome to Grasse and welcome to Fragonard. So this factory is a very old one because it was created in 1926 and it's a family factory. So it's still working. So we put the mix in these containers for perfume, essences and alcohol, and for eau de toilette, essences, alcohol and distilled water. And we let macerate it during 3 weeks. First room. So when we get the soap, it's like that. Just a little granule of palm oil. You can find olive oil or coconut oil. It just depends on your soap. So
Yeah, hold it up to the camera.
Explain you the hot method for all the other flowers. This is a distillation. So today we didn't use this kind of alembic, but this kind. But it's exactly the same process. So we put some water and some flowers, for example, the lavender. We put them to the boiling point. So the steam comes in the cube and takes with it all the particles, the smelly one of the lavender. All of them comes in the swan neck and right here in this container. At the end of the swan neck, there is a serpentine who was immersed in the cold water. And when the steam and the particles come inside, it becomes liquid. So we obtain the water and the essence. We get the water by this way and the essence by this one. So we use the essence to do some perfume for the toilet, etc. Yes, you can recognize 300 different essences. To do only one perfume or one eau de toilette, the perfumer needs few months or 1 year because you have to mix different essences, 100 to 250 different essences for only one perfume or one eau de toilette.
Yes, yes. I've been to for years.
Today, a lot of people are reaching that place, Bridge of the Wolf, which is called Pont du Loup in French, because we want to have a look at the candy factory. Another factory here. We won't visit flowers, but mostly rose, violet, jasmine as well.
Dalla montagna francese, dalla natura. Oh, je parle bien le français.
So we arrive soon in St. Paul. We'll pass the last village before we arrive in St. Paul by the last part of the canyon, so the rocks I was telling you about. passing by behind. Ready? Ooh la 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 la.
Sembra una balena.
A little bit narrow here, and we are. So we arrived by Tourette-sur-Loing. This is the city of Vence. Vence is much more bigger than Saint-Paul. It used to be as well a little village which has been enlarged.
Oh, you've never seen it. Remember that we are
Oh,
in
putain.
France, and that some kilometers ago we are in another country. We're in the county of Nice. That one was the great.
Bling bling, everything is 10 euros.
Bling bling everything.
Bling bling. That pen is gorgeous.
This, well,
What have you got to say for yourself?
not much. We just had lunch in St. Paul de Vence, and then we have about a half hour to go, and then we go back on the bus back to the ship. Very pretty little medieval town with shops and restaurants, and
Mommy bought a necklace.
Mommy bought a necklace, right? For how much?
So 10 euros,
right?
yeah.
10 euros.
It
Everything
was
10 euros.
Cheap enough. It's like going to TJ Maxx.
This is where you'll have the heliport and a little harbor as well. This is where you'll have housings, restaurants, and mostly all the factories. This is a business center to build it because we have won about 20% of the principality over the sea like that. We have taken more than have a look in front, back to the harbor, and the ship is still there, waiting for you. Over there. Oui. Et encore un. And Monte Carlo on your right hand side. The train station I was telling you about, built on different levels now, just there on your right. It's written in white. Gare de Monaco. Monte Carlo, the district on your right.
We were in the casino and we lost money. I want my money back. I lost $15.
Here we are in Monte Carlo.
Yeah.
Here's the big roller. We just
Yeah.
lost 15 euros.
15 euro. Now I can't eat tonight.
And I won 6.
You won 6? You won it? Really?
And €1.
€1.
So we have about 1.5 million travelers crossing the sea from here on those regular ferry liners, and cruising ships now are bringing us about 500,000 tourists. Like Marseille was considered to be the open gate toward the Middle Eastern countries. At the time, in the mid-19th century, Marseille was very important because it was the third most important port after London and Liverpool. It's not the case. And here you discover what we call the Old Port. It deserves its name, 2,600 years. And bear in mind that it has been the only port of Marseille until 1848 when they inaugurated the Joliette Port. Means quand ça bouille, abaisse. When it boils, reduce the heat. So you can imagine that the Mamie was cleaning the fishes, throwing them in the pot with garlic and spice, etc. And before going out to work, she would tell the kids, when it boils, reduce. Quand ça bouille, abaisse. And it became, in one word, la bouillabaisse. Now, this is the best known street of Marseille, which is called La Canebière. Canebière, the name comes from a Provençal word, caneb. Caneb means the hand, because in the port one needs ropes, and the hand was being used for the rope making. The train is comfortable. You enjoy the beautiful scenery crossing the whole country. You can read, you can work, you can watch a video, you can walk in the corridors, go to the cafeteria, and it can be very cheap if you buy your ticket really in advance. Three hours. The train runs at 200 miles. District, but you see more people are gathering at the fish market now. It's quite funny. Often they don't put the prices, and they make up the price when they look at you and they evaluate how big is your wallet, and and then they tell you how much it costs. You see on the right, those are the traditional fishermen, little wooden boats that we call les pointus. You buy your ticket and you visit the whole place, including the jail of the Count of Monte Cristo, who never existed. Never mind. In the fore part, it's a monument dedicated to the soldiers from the Eastern armies. One has to understand the soldier from the former French colonies who gave their life for us. So if you want.
Islands. You see the way they connected the two major islands. There's a little village also, the Château d'If in the forepart. Then down below you see across the old fort, Central Fort, was built by the
say the last day of the cruise, except for Barcelona. Tomorrow we're in Barcelona, and we say goodbye. And start waiting for the next cruise and looking at availability.
Yeah, forget it. Au revoir.
That's the old port. All of this is the
All
old
this
port.
is the old port. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Very quaint.
Very quaint. Lovely.
Good evening.
Hi, this is the crew capers. All the crew and the stewardesses and the stewards, and they're all going to have an act for us. It's really wonderful.
And why do they do it now?
Because there are people getting off in Barcelona, so this is the last night. And then the other people board to go to Fort Lauderdale, 15-day cruise to Fort Lauderdale. So you'll have different.
Please give them the warmest Seven Seas Voyager welcome to Crew Capers.
YMCA, it's fun to stay at the YMCA. They have everything for the men to enjoy. You can hang out with all the boys. YMCA, just get yourself to the
Please show your appreciation for the hardest working crew on the Seven Seas.
Thank you, folks. Have a safe trip back home. Thank you. Looking forward to see you soon.
And ladies and gentlemen, the master of Seven Seas Voyager, Captain Mario Sanguinetti. Also, come on down from the housekeeping department. Ladies and gentlemen, from the bar department. Keep your applause going for our butlers. For your lovely social hostess, our assistant cruise director, and the cast, our new tea and wine production cast, our singers and dancers. Ladies and gentlemen, from the dining room, it's your wait staff. And last but certainly not least, the gentlemen from the galley. Yes, you love them now. Wait till you get home on a scale. last but not least, our crew caterers captain is Johnny.
Last meal. Last meal, and then we go home. Well, we go to Barcelona, and then
Right. We stop eating after tonight.
right, go on a really strict diet. And you're gonna get a shock of my life when I get on the scale. We're leaving to go home, and it's freezing here. So cold.
Good morning. Yep.
What is that?
This is Plaza Catalunya.
Red light.
The city. No, I forgot the name.
Aqueduct?
Yes. Aqua. Okay. Then we demolished the city wall in 1848, and finally we could make the facade of the cathedral, which is neo-Gothic. Now,
For good luck.
we talk about the 14th century. Ferdinand and Isabella. Okay. 3 Mexicans and 2 Argentinians. Black hole. Completely. Have to be a bit apart. Pues seguimos con San Jorge. So, before the Romans, we had here tribes of Iberians. And then from this place, we go to the left and then we will come back here. Vamos a hacer un círculo. Ahora nos vamos a la izquierda y volveremos aquí para ir a la derecha a la colina de Montjuic y al fondo. To the right, the hill Montjuic that we will visit later. Bueno, Museo de Historia de Cataluña. The building on the right hand side, this is the Museum of History of Catalunya. Enfrente tenemos el puerto olímpico lleno de restaurantes allá abajo. Right here we have the Olympic port full of restaurants, and after the Olympic port, to the right, the rest of the 4.5 kilometers of beach. Después del puerto olímpico a la derecha el resto de las playas, y al fondo de la calle se ven las torres de la Sagrada Familia. At the end of the street we can see the towers of Sagrada Familia. Pero esta todavía está funcionando. To the left, a monument which is called the Head of Barcelona by Roy Lichtenstein. This is pop art. Este monumento de la izquierda se llama la Cabeza de Barcelona, la hizo el artista pop Roy Lichtenstein. Y ahora muy pronto verán un edificio. Columbus is also the end of Ramblas, a famous street in Barcelona, the beginning of which is Catalunya Square, and this is the end. Full of people always, 24 hours a day. Ramblas, que siempre está llena de gente 24 horas al día. Vamos a ver ahora, aquí a la derecha, to the right. Islas del Caribe que tienen cruceros todo el año. So here on the left hand side, the most important port in Europe regarding the arrival of cruise ships, and number 70 in the world, because before us we have the islands of the Caribbean. They have cruise ships all year round. So remember, we saw some groups from cruise ships. We have 2 million visitors coming from the sea. So we have ferries from Italy. We have also ships from the Balearic Islands, Mallorca, Menorca, and also the cruise ships. Torre metálica de la llama olímpica. Y aquí tenemos un bus que se está parando porque tiene paradita, no importa, nos esperamos a que se vaya. But we had to make a modern stadium, so we made a covered one. You will see now to the left by the Japanese architect Arate Sosaki. A la izquierda, este estadio cubierto fue el que tuvimos que hacer, porque en todos los Juegos Olímpicos hay que hacer un edificio nuevo, y este es del arquitecto
In Spain, from Castilla. And the buildings, they have a number, 26. ¿Se fijan los edificios? Bell tower, but it looks more like a minaret than a bell tower because it's so beautiful. So this is the restaurant and one of the... Ahora ya entran por esta puerta a la una. Sí, vale. ¿Dónde están? Aquí. A la una, 4. Ahora te doy a la una.
Cava, wine.
Y esto
We are in Spanish Village in Barcelona, rushing for the bus.
España Square. Y aquello es la Plaza España, a la izquierda. Allí. Look at the nice building to the right. Mira este edificio a la derecha.
El fresco. El fresco que, bueno, aquí son es buffet.
Prepárese su ensalada.
Y nosotros... El fresco, el fresco.
Good morning.
Rise and shine.
How are we doing today?
Well, I'm glad to go home. Thank you very much. We're going to have breakfast right now.
Family Watson, passenger ferry, passenger ferry.
Oh, I'm glad to go home because I'm tired.
tired of getting up at 6 o'clock every morning and catching the bus, but we saw some beautiful sights in Barcelona, and Rome was wonderful. We had lunch there, and what was that lunch they gave us on one of the tours? That was beautiful.
Amalfi?
Amalfi.
Yeah.
And the Amalfi Drive was gorgeous. We went to this beautiful restaurant overlooking the Amalfi Drive. Very pretty.
Right, the hotel.
The hotel was beautiful, and the food was scrumptious. Everything was nice.
Florence was nice. It was a big pizza.
Oh, we had the big pizza in Florence. That was wonderful. I ate the whole thing, except one piece I gave to Maxine.
Aquí, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 en teléfono.
It was nice.
We had some nice meals off the ship and on the ship.
Oh yeah, the ship was wonderful. All their food, the gourmet steaks and filet and prawns and lobster, everything and anything you can imagine. And we ate in Signatures twice and one time in Prime 7.
Right.
Which was lovely.
And a lot of room service.
And we had a lot of room service, yes. It was great. Do you want to talk?
When dawn moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. That's amore. When the world seems to shine like you've had too much wine, that's amore. That's amore.
Bells will ring,
Ding-a-ling-a-ling,
ting-a-ling-a-ling,
and you'll sing Vita Bella.
Vita Bella, Vita Bella. Hearts will play,
tippy-tippy-tay, like a gay tarantella.
Lucky fella. When the stars make it through just like pasta fazool, that's amore.
That's amore.
When you dance down the street with the cloud at your feet, you're in love. When you walk in a dream, but you know you're not dreaming, signore. Scusa me, but you see, back in old Napoli, that's amore.
Amore.
That's amore.